So we were at this lake house with some friends, and my wife was at home all night by herself while we were at the bar drinking a little bit. I didn't have much to drink. I had like 1 or 2 beers. I got back to the house and I laid down. It was pretty much pitch black in this room, but I could just see like the silhouette of her body while she was laying down. I laid down next to her and we were face to face, but I couldn't even really make out the details of her face, it was so dark. But I noticed that it kind of looked like she was sitting up, and so I just said, "Hey, why are you sitting up, or what are you doing?" And I heard her voice come from right in front of me, not where it would have been if she was sitting up, so it spooked me and I just kept staring at this thing, and the more I stared at it, the more I realized that it wasn't right above her. It was on the edge of the bed, standing hovering over the bed. And it was this black figure that was like 8 or 9 feet tall, and as I stared at it, it slowly started to get a lot closer to me, but it was just its face. Like it looked like its face was extending out to stare at me. It ended getting to the point where it was inches from my face, and I just sat and I was like shook, frozen in space. I couldn't move, and I was just staring face to face with this black figure that had these little bitty bead orange eyes with these tiny black pupils. And I'll explain the rest of what it looked like once I explain the rest of the story. But my wife, she looks at me and she's like, "What? Did you see something?" And I froze and I just said, "I don't want to say anything." And she was like, "You need to tell me if you saw something." And I said I did, but I didn't tell her what. And we sat there for a minute. I was just like, "Don't freak out, just relax, go to bed." And she couldn't, she was so scared. So we both just ran out into the main area where all our friends were. And so we get out in the main area and she's like, spooked. She's like, "Guys, I think Jax and me just saw something scary, and I need to tell you about the things that I was seeing while you guys were at the bar." And she starts explaining, she's like, "It felt like somebody was standing outside the door, because she could see light, but it looked like the shadow of 2 feet just standing outside the door for hours. And then she would fall asleep and wake up, and it would be gone." Well, she could see a little bit of light underneath the door, so she said she saw this shadow figure crawling on the ground, walking towards her on all fours. And when she told me the details of what this thing looked like, I froze. I could not move. She said this thing had orange little eyes and a huge smile with these jagged teeth. And the reason why I froze is because that was exactly what I saw, and I never told her that before she told them. It was the spookiest feeling I'd ever experienced. Well, while she's telling them, they kind of start laughing a little, thinking she's joking, but I was not laughing. I was freaked out, didn't want to even talk, just staring. Blank space, absolutely freaked by what she just said. I just felt like what I saw just defied everything I ever believed, right? Still hadn't told her that's what I saw, because what happened next happened so fast. Well, while she's sitting there talking, I shut the door to that bedroom when we got out of there. But while everybody's sitting there talking, we all heard something drop and fall onto the floor in that room, and there were wood floors all throughout the house. And so we walked through the bedroom to kind of see what it was, and there was nothing on the floor. Like nothing. There wasn't any trash. There wasn't a coin. There wasn't anything that was on the floor. The floor was spotless. So, that was the only thing that we saw. But later on, we found out that there was an Indian burial site in the backyard of this house with tombstones still there in this little bitty fenced-out area that was directly outside this window that we stayed in. So I'm not sure if there's any kind of folklore about those type of spirits, demons, ghosts, whatever it was. But still to this day, this was about 6 months ago, I've yet to find out any information on it. It still spooks us when we talk about our experience. I mean, I'm still getting chills telling you this story, and I haven't really spoken about it since. But yeah, what do you think?